Now we are going to derive an expression for energy which is stored in a capacitor. So how can I say energy has been stored in a capacitor? So earlier we dealt with the parallel plate capacitor. I hope you remember what was happening. We charge or we gave supply to a system like this so that this terminal became positively charged and this plate became negatively charged, remember, and we could either we made the medium between these two plates filled with vacuum air or dielectric, right? Suppose the charge over here is plus q and this is minus q, right? And there is an electric field, right, that is E naught. This and all we taught in the earlier hour. Suppose this is A and this is B, right? Now if electric field is moving from this plate to this plate means there can be a charge mover, right? That is, the electric field is moving in this direction means in order to increase further electric field I have to make this plate more positive and this plate more negative. If I want to make this plate more positive means I have to remove more electrons from this plate. Similarly, if I want to make this plate more negative, that means I have to remove positive charge from this plate. That is, I can or I have to do some work to move electrons from A to B, whereas positive charges from B to A, right? So for these two conditions I have to do some work. This work of moving charge from one plate to another is stored as energy inside the capacitor. Now I am going to find the expression for that energy. Right, now capacitors only gradually gets charged, right? It takes times to charge a capacitor. At any stage the charge on the capacitor be Q. So what will be the potential V? That will be V is equal to Q by C. Now I want to move, we told that we are going to move an electron or a proton, right? So that means I am going to move a charge. Let that charge which I am going to move be dq, right? And I am moving it from plate A to B. Then I am doing some work, right? So that work is equal to, what is the expression for work? You remember, work is equal to charge into potential. This you have learned earlier class, right? It is W is equal to Q into V. Here we are moving charge small dq, so it is dq into V. In place of V I will represent this equation, it becomes dq into Q by C. Right, now this is for a small charge work, right? To move a small charge dq. Suppose then means if I am going to move a large charge, it will become W. So W is integral dW, and the charge can vary from 0 charge to a large charge, that is total charge Q. Integrated from 0 to Q, in place of dW I will write this expression, it becomes Q by C dq. Out of this, 1 by C is a constant, so I will write it outside, Q dq. Integral x dx is x squared by 2, so this will come as 1 by C integral Q squared by 2 upper limit lower limit. Upper limit minus lower limit is consisting of 0, so that section is going off, or I need not write the value. It becomes Q squared minus 0 divided by 2. I will bring it outside so that you get an expression for work done to move a charge from one plate to another, that is 1 by 2 Q squared by C. Now work done is stored as energy, so I can write this as U. So this is the expression for energy stored in a capacitor. Clear? Now there are 2 or 3 ways in which the expression can be rewritten, guys. Suppose in place of Q I write it as CV. So it becomes half into CV whole squared into divided by C. So C squared by C becomes half CV squared. That is one expression. Now another expression, here in place of C, right, Q is equal to CV, right? So C, in place of C I can write Q by V. So what it becomes, half into Q squared by C becomes Q by V. So Q by V, Q cancels out and V goes up, that is Q V, right? So three expressions you are having for energy stored in a capacitor. Depending upon the type of problems, you can use either three expressions for it, right? The next which you have to learn is energy density in a capacitor. That is energy density in a capacitor. You have to derive the expression. Energy density means energy stored per unit volume of space, and it is indicated by, this is capital U, energy density is small u. That is energy stored per unit volume, right? So you have the expression, what is volume in pairs of parallel plate capacitor? It is area into distance between the plate, right? This is D, this is A, and the volume will be A into D, right? So in place of U, you can write the expression for earlier, right? So what happens, I have to substitute. In case of U, I will write it as either one. I will write it as half Q squared by C. In place of C, I can write what? Capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor, C is equal to A epsilon naught by D, right? So it becomes, the next term which you have to deal is energy density, which is small u. What was energy stored? Capital U. Energy density is small u. Now energy density is energy per unit volume. That is how much energy is stored in one volume or unit volume of a capacitor. So U can be written as capital U by V. Now V means volume of the capacitor, that is area into distance between the plates. And U, I can write it as half CV squared. This has been found in the earlier section. So in place of C, I can write, what is C? It is A epsilon naught by D. Remember this expression, we derived it for a parallel plate capacitor, when air is a medium between them. In this entire scenario, we are considering either air or vacuum inside or between the two plates, non-dielectric medium. So this expression I am going to substitute here. So it becomes half into A epsilon naught by D into V square. So it becomes half, and the denominator is AD, right? So AA cancels off and D comes down, right? So it becomes D square. So it becomes half epsilon naught V by D whole square, because V squared is also there and D squared is also there, right? Now what can I do? We can write V in terms of E, right? So it becomes half epsilon naught, V is E into D, right, whole square. So I can cut D square, right? So it becomes half epsilon E square. So this is the expression for energy density. By heart the expression, guys, right? This much is the only derivation. Later on there is only a single topic, which is Van de Graaff generator. We'll later on deal with it. Now let's move on to numerical section. The problem is, you are given a parallel plate capacitor 100 picofarad is charged to 500 volt. If the distance between the plates is halved, what will be the new potential difference between the plates, and what will be the charge stored, or what is the change, right? It's same change in stored energy, right? So the question is, suppose you are having a parallel plate capacitor. Initially this capacitance is 100 into 10 to the power minus 6 farad. It's pico or micro? Right, it's micro, right? The question is micro, guys. Sorry. You're given as 10 to microfarad, right? And the voltage is 500 volt is given, and you are asked what will be the potential energy, initial potential. Then only you can find the change in energy, right? So what you are supposed to find, what is the initial potential energy? U is equal to half CV squared, because you are given C and V. Substitute the values. C becomes 100 into 10 to the power minus 6. V squared is 500 whole square. Find the value by yourself. It is around 12.5 joule. Okay, 12.5 joule. Now what has been the second condition? This is the initial condition, guys. Now it is told that the distance between the plate is halved. when the distance becomes half, what and all value majorly change? C changes, right? As well as the voltage also changes, because when C changes, V also change. I will tell you how it is done. So let's make it as final. So C, now D dash, that is the distance has become half. So what becomes C dash? New capacitance will be A epsilon naught by D dash. That is A epsilon naught by D by 2. So it becomes 2 A epsilon naught by D. What is A epsilon naught by D? That is the initial capacitance. So it becomes 2C. This C. Need not find the value. We'll later on do what calculation can be simplified without finding the actual value. Now C dash is 2C, right? Now what happens is C dash is also equal to Q by V dash, because C is equal to Q by V. Q charge is not changed, but the potential can change. Now C dash is equal to, or V dash, sorry, V dash is equal to Q by C dash, and in place of C dash I'm going to write 2C. It becomes Q by 2C, right? What is Q by C? It is voltage. So voltage or potential difference, new potential difference is half of the initial potential difference. So what will be the new energy V? U dash, that is half C dash V dash square. That is equal to half into new C dash is 2C. V dash square is half V whole square. So this can be written as half 2, and this becomes 4. So it becomes CV squared by 2. So half CV squared by 2 means initial energy is now halved. Sorry. Yes, initial energy is now halved. Clear? So what is the initial energy found? That is 12.5 joules. So the new energy will be 12.5 by 2, that is 6.5 joules. Sorry, 6.25, right? Half will be, right? 6.25 joules. So that means potential energy, how it has changed? It has become half of the initial potential energy, or sorry, initial energy stored in the capacitor. I hope it is clear. Don't mention it as potential energy, mention it as energy itself. Clear? Right. I hope you understood how this problem is done. Whenever you change any parameter of the capacitor, its capacitance value as well as its potential difference changes. Clear? Now let's move on to the second problem. What is the second problem? A 4 microfarad capacitor is charged by a 200 volt supply. It is then disconnected from the supply and is connected to an uncharged 2 microfarad capacitor. How much electrostatic energy of the first capacitor is dissipated in the form of heat and radiation? Now, this is under a concept called common potential. You have to understand what is a common potential. So what do you mean by common potential concept? Suppose, see guys, there are two. This is spherical capacitor, consider. This is having capacitance C1, its voltage or potential difference is V1. This is C2 and its potential difference is V2. Every time, independent of the charge amount, independent of the size, independent of tension whatsoever, charges always flow from higher potential to lower potential. This you have to understand. Charges always flow from higher potential to lower potential, right? Suppose this sphere 1 is having higher potential, means the charge will always flow from here to here. Till when this flow of charge will occur? Till both the potential becomes equal. That is, suppose that common potential is V. Suppose, you understand, right? This V1 is very, very large when compared to V2. So the charge flows from V1 to V2 until V1 achieves the voltage common potential V. Similarly, V2 achieves the common potential V, the flow goes on. Once both of them reach the common potential V, no further flow of charges occur. Right? Now, the common potential is, what is V? That is how can I write as how can I write for V? Common equation is V is equal to Q by C, right? Here common potential, this Q will become total charge of the system by total charge of the or total capacitance of the system, right? So in this case, what is Q total? It will be individual charges sum, right? This is Q1, this is Q2, so QT will be Q1 plus Q2. And what is common or total capacitance? It will be C1 plus C2, right? So individually, how can I write regarding Q1? Q1 is C1 into V1 and Q2 is C2 into V2 divided by C1 plus C2. This is the expression for common potential when you connect two capacitors of different potentials by a connecting wire, and there will be a charge flow from higher potential to lower potential until they reach this common potential, right? And this is the expression for it. This much is clear. Now we will go for the numerical question again. So you are told initially you are having a capacitor C1 and V1 with the voltage V1, right? That has been told, right? Suppose we are moving and I can find the energy for that initial condition. So initial, right? C1 is 4 into 10 to the power minus 6, right? Then micro, right? Then similarly V1 is given as 200 volt, right? So what will be the energy be? U is equal to half C1 V1 square. Substitute the values both of them, you will get around 10 to the power minus 2 joules. 8 into 10 to the power minus 2 joules. You can substitute the values and find the value by yourself, right? Now what is being told? Now this capacitor is, once it is charged, this much energy it will be storing, right? Now this capacitor is removed from the supply and then it is connected with C2, right? With the it is connected to this capacitor which is of capacitance 2 microfarad. Then how much energy it is going to lose? Now C2 is not separately given a supply, right? So what is being done? You are connecting C1 to C2 only. C2 is initially not connected to any charge supply, so would it have any potential? No. So V2 will be equal to 0. So final condition I am going to write C2 is given as 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 farad, and V2, since it has not been charged by any supply, V2 will be 0, right? Now C1 and C2 is connected, right? So C1 is having higher potential because it is having a voltage. V2 is 0, so obviously C2 is at lower potential and C1 is at higher potential. So charge from C1 to C2. This much is clear, and a common potential has to be achieved. What is the expression for common voltage? V is equal to C1 V1 plus C2 V2 divided by C1 plus C2. Now substitute the values. C1 is 4 into 10 to the power minus 6. V1 is 200. C2 is 2 into 10 to the power minus 6, but V2 is 0. Then you will substitute the other values. You will get the value of V common potential as 800 by 6 volt around. Clear? Now you right now it has achieved a common potential that is 800 by 6 volt. This common potential is now both for C1 and C2. So what will be the energy of C1 be? C1's energy will be half C1 V square, where V is the common potential. So I will write it as half. C is 4 into 10 to the power minus 6 and V square is 800 by 6 whole square. After calculation you will get it at around 3.55 into 10 to the power minus 2 joules. So initially what was the energy of C1? That is 8 into 10 to the power minus 2 joules, and now it is what, 3.55 into 10 to the power minus 2 joules. So what was the energy which is lost by C1? The C delta U is equal to U minus U dash, or this one, right? So it becomes 8 minus 3.55 into 10 to the power minus 2. So it will be around 4, 5. So 4. No, it is 3, right? 3.45 thing. Do it by yourself here. When you minus it, how much you are going to get. Clear? Right, will be around 3.45 itself into 10 to power minus 2. That means energy C1 has lost. Initially C2 did it had any energy? No. Half CV squared C2 V2 squared you do 0. Whereas now what would be the new energy, which is, this is an additional thing, this is not mentioned in your question, but I wanted to tell. So what is the energy which is gained by C2? Initially it was 0 energy, now it is having half C2 into V square. V is a common potential, that is half into 2 into 10 to power minus 6. What is the common potential here, guys? It is 800 by 6 whole square. You can find the calculation, you will get an amount. So C2 has increased the energy from 0 to this value, whereas C1 has lost energy from 8 to 3.55. This much is clear. We'll go for the next problem, guys. Right, the question is area of a parallel plate capacitor is given and the distance is also given. It is charged to a potential difference of 1200 volt. Right, and what will be the energy? What will be its energy? What will be its? I wrote it 2 times. Sorry. What will be the energy when it is filled with a medium of K is equal to 3? That is dielectric medium, and then charged first as an air capacitor, and then filled with this dielectric. What will happen to the energy? It's a simple concept, guys. That is, initially there was a capacitor and it was an air capacitor, so there was no dielectric medium. Now when you introduce a dielectric medium, what happens to its energy? This much is a question. Right, now let's move on. Initially you are given area as about 150 centimeters square, so that is, you are converting into meter, becomes this much value. Now distance is 8 into 10 to power minus 4 meter. Now A part, what is the energy's equation? Half CV squared is very simple. Half into C is what? A epsilon naught by D and V square. Right, V is given as how much? 1200. The question is given. After calculation, you will get around 1.2 into 10 to power minus 4 joule. Calculation you have to do by yourself. How area's value is given? What is epsilon naught's value? It is around 8.85 into 10 to power minus 12. And what is distance? It is 8 into 10 to power minus 4. You put the values, you can find the value of this value very easily. This much is clear. Now this is for air. Right, now what happens when dielectric is introduced? Then the capacitance value C dash will be new. It becomes what? K into C. Right, or I can say this much. I remember in place of C dash we had CM, same, is equal to K into C naught. The same expression. C naught is for capacitance in air, CM when there is a medium, and here medium is a dielectric medium. Right, so what happens? So C dash, I'm going to K is given as how much? 3. So 3 into, that is A epsilon naught by D. Again substitute the values here. That is 3 into, what is the area? It is 150 into 10 to power minus 4. That is epsilon naught 8.85 into 10 to power minus 12. And the distance is given as how much? 8 into 10 to power minus 4. You will get the answer of around this, right? So 3 into 1.6 into 10 to power minus 10, around you will get the answer. Right, now I have not written the calculation because the second part of the question is not for C dash. Second part of the question is for finding new energy. So new energy will be half C dash into V square. That is half into this value. That is 3 into 1.66 into 10 to power minus 10 into V square becomes 1200 square. Calculate it by yourself. You will get around 3.6 into 10 to power minus 4 joule. Right, now we'll go for the last part of the question, that is what happens to the potential when you introduce a dielectric medium. Right, we know what happens to the capacitance value when you introduce a dielectric medium. Similarly, you are asked what will be the potential. See guys, C dash is Kc, that is new capacitance will be K times the initial capacitance. So you also know what is the relationship between C and V. C is equal to Q by V, right? You are nothing dealing with charge. Charge is not considered here because charge is already stored in that material or the capacitor. What is going to change is V and C depending upon the medium, right? So I can say C is inversely proportional to V, right? So in place of C dash I can write 1 by V dash, and in place of C I can write 1 by V. Or I can say, since C is inversely proportional to V, if C dash by C is equal to K, then the reciprocal happens, that is V dash in by C, right? So it becomes V dash into K is equal to V. Or I can say V dash by V is equal to 1 by K, right? See, C is inversely proportional to V, so C is proportional to K, right? So V will be proportional to 1 by K. So it will be V dash by V is equal to 1 by K. This expression is very important, guys. It's very easy to understand. C dash is equal to K into C. C is inversely proportional to V. So what proportional you had? K. Now in case of V dash becomes 1 by K. So V dash by V is equal to 1 by K. C dash is equal to KC. Here it is straight K. Here it becomes inverse. This much is clear, right? So we'll go for the problem. So V dash is equal to V by K, yeah, and or we can say V naught by K, because I wanted to mention this air. Here you are having a voltage 1200, K it is 3, so what will be the new voltage? That is V naught, or the potential difference. This much is clear. Now what happens is you have a new potential, you have a new capacitance value also, C dash, right? So what will be the new energy be? U dash is equal to half C dash V dash square, that is half C dash is Kc. So I write Kc, V dash is V by K, right? V by K, and there is a square. You can cut off 1 K here so that it becomes half C V squared by K. Now substitute the value. Half into C is 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 10. We have found the value by A epsilon by D, right? Into, right, becomes 1 2 square divided by 3. You substitute the values. You will get around 4 into 10 to the power minus 5 joules as the answer. Calculation should be done by yourself, guys. Clear? Now we move